Hello, everybody. Hi, and welcome to our session. We are sorry for the delay. We had a short technical issue, so we are joining a bit late. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. This session was already postponed once, but here we are, and we're looking forward to have this session delivered today. So as those of you who are new to the Reactor program, the Reactor are a technical hub with 10 physical locations worldwide. So our program actually offers online and in-person events consisted of free technical learning opportunities for you, where you can actually join from anywhere in the world. If you check out our website, which I'm going to share with you the link soon in the chat, you can see all of the upcoming events that we have and sign up to those that work best with your schedule. So again, as I mentioned, the Reactors program is dedicated to offer free learning opportunities for developers, for startups, entrepreneurs, and students. We have really events every day on different time zones, on different areas, specifically on AI, but not just AI. We have different technical areas that we offer opportunities to learn. So I highly recommend you to check out our website. You can also join our newsletter. If you scan the QR code now that's on the screen, you will receive a monthly email with all of the upcoming events in your region or time zone, depending where you are joining from. So if you scan this QR code, you will be able to register to our newsletter. Today's event is recorded, as well as all of our online events, almost all of our online events. The events are available on the Reactor YouTube channel, so you can also see the link to our YouTube channel where you can listen to our events on demand. Another platform that I wanted to mention is the Microsoft Learn platform. For those of you who haven't checked it out yet, as you can scan this QR code and visit Microsoft Learn. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of opportunities for you to learn different learning path modules, certifications, on-demand content, blogs, a lot of learning opportunities for you to learn on different areas, different topics, as well as you can choose your professional or your level. If you're a beginner, if you're an advanced, you can choose the level that you want to learn from and access all these opportunities on Microsoft Learn. Before we start today's session, just a bit of housekeeping. So the session is recorded. As I mentioned, it will be available on the YouTube channel. You can use the chat to ask your questions during the session, and the speaker will take the time at the end of the session to answer those questions. If you have anything else that you need during the session, I will be here help moderate today's session. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Alpa, who's going to talk about how to get started with Azure OpenAI. So enjoy, everyone, and Alpa, over to you.
Thank you, Maria. Hi, all. Thank you and welcome to my session. In this session, we are going to see how you can start your journey for Azure OpenAI and what you can do in Azure OpenAI, how you can integrate Azure OpenAI through a different Azure services and through Postman and like that. So let's start myself. So you can find me in LinkedIn, Twitter, or like that. I'm Microsoft certified trainer and MVP as well. If you need any help in future, then you can feel free to ask me via LinkedIn or Twitter as well. So let's start with what is Azure OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI is a Azure AI service which help you to apply a generative AI on your data or public data. So you can apply a GPT models like large language model and small language model on your data. And because of that, you can make your app more smart very quickly and very easily. It is Azure platform as a service, so you don't need to worry about infrastructure and implementing monitoring tools and operating system or things like that. You can quickly create Azure OpenAI instance and you can use on your data or public data very quickly and very easily. Behind the scene is use a natural language processing algorithm. However, you don't need to worry about that because when you create Azure OpenAI instance, it give you a REST URL and key. You can use either key or you can use a managed identity way as well. this is co-developed by Microsoft and OpenAI. So it's give you enterprise level security. Your data is your data. So this is a very quickly we can say Azure OpenAI. But in this session, we are mainly focusing on multimodal Azure OpenAI. So let's see what is a multimodal Azure OpenAI. It process and understand information from various type of data source simultaneously. It can have more than one inputs, for example, more than one inputs, and it can process more than one inputs and generate a more than one output. So for example, you can see that you can attach a image and you can ask a question. So you have image as a source and you have a question, so you are providing the two information, and based on that it can generate output for you. It can generate another image and text, or it can generate another text or something like that. So it's working more than one inputs and it's return also more than one outputs. It suppose the various type of the formats, for example text, images, audio and video, and because of that it makes it incredibly versatile and powerful. And in this session, we are going to see GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini. So these are the few examples where you can use Azure OpenAI. But if you have a data, pretty much you can apply Azure OpenAI on that. So for example, you can build a knowledge-based Q&A. Like for example, you are a hardware company and you have some issues in past. So if you store those information as a knowledge in table or file, based on that you can apply Azure OpenAI, and if next time if there is a similar issue came, then you can get solution from your data itself. So that is the one thing you can do. Another way you can use it to summarize your data, and here data can be like image file or video file or audio file. So for example, you have a workshop for one day and you haven't attended that, but you can apply Azure OpenAI on that recordings and then you can ask the questions. So it can summarize your whole day meeting as well. So it really help on that case as well. You also can use for asking the natural language query, which we're going to see in this demo as well. So like you asking the query in English sentence, for example, show me the orders for this month. Then it will generate a query for you, and then based on that you can select the data from database or file. So it also help you to generate automation, like code automation, code generation through, like for example, GitHub Copilots we can use. The behind the scene is having the similar stuff. And it help you, as we said earlier, it help you to analyze your media file, which can be image, it can be audio or video file. For example, you have an invoice PDF file or like that, or image file, and based on that you can say, can you please extract the information from this invoice and create a table for me. Then it will create a table for you, to read that image, extract those information and generate a table for you, and generate also give you insert statements because it's read the value as well. So that way you can use as well. And another thing is this model, like large language model and small language model, have a domain knowledge as well. So it will create different tables, not only one table, which create the different tables and see how it's useful, because it has trained on millions of different repositories. So we have seen now what is Azure OpenAI and what is multimodal Azure OpenAI. Now let's see, if you want to consume your OpenAI, then how you will do that. So first of all, you will create Azure OpenAI in Azure portal or via code first way, maybe PowerShell or ARM template or like that. So it will give you a endpoint which is REST URL, and it also give you a key. So by that time, after the end of that deployment of your Azure OpenAI, you will have a Azure OpenAI name, you have a key, you have a model as well. Means you deploy model, so you will have a model as well. So after that, you can consume it via no code low code way or code first way. So you can use maybe Azure OpenAI SDK if you would like to do those kind of the coding through a Python or C# or Java, or you can directly do through Azure portal as well. which may be POC kind of the things if you want to learn more about that. So based on that, you will have a key endpoints and model names and like that. So this is the syntax for that. So this syntax you can use. So like this is your Azure OpenAI name, like UR endpoint, and here you can see this is the model. But we are going to see GPT-4 model and mini model, and this is the syntax. This is the version number for that, and you are passing the content type and API key, or you can use a token as well. You can use Azure AD for that, and you also passing your prompt. So this is the way you can consume your Azure OpenAI, and you can consume it through pretty much everywhere. You can use in Azure SQL database using this endpoint and key. You can use in Power Apps, Power Automates, Data Factory, Microsoft Fabric, pretty much everywhere. Via Postman you can test because it's a REST URL, so you can use. You can easily integrate with any other services or like that. So this is a higher level design for that. So here you can see that you either can have a knowledge in a private data, or you have a knowledge in a public data over internet. And so these are the knowledge you passing in your Azure OpenAI, and based on the what you have selected here, you either need a Python or C sharp or those kind of the library code. You should have like Azure OpenAI instance, and you also need Azure AI search. And this is the way, and you deploy them. You can do directly through Azure itself as well, or you can do like Streamlight or like that way. So once you deploy that, then your end user can communicate through that, or you also can have a private source as well, and you can have a ask a question from your database, and response also you can save in your database. So pretty much you can use in all four combination way Azure OpenAI on your data or public data. So this is the example. So we're going to Azure portal, we're going to see a instance of Azure OpenAI, then we will ask this question, and it will apply on a public knowledge, because knowledge on the internet, and you will see it will return the result as well. So if I go to here, uh, so this is my Azure OpenAI. So you first need to create Azure OpenAI instance. It's the same way you are creating the other Azure services, and you can create it by few button clicks away. So once you create your Azure OpenAI, then you will redirect into this at the moment, and then so yeah, so this is my Azure OpenAI instance, and you can see here it's similar things which you have in other Azure services. You also can see here your API and key, which is here, and this is the things you need if you would like to consume your Azure OpenAI in other place. But normally you don't use a key, you use a keyless authentication. So now you have your Azure OpenAI, and if you go to overview page, and then here you can see that go to Azure AI Foundry portal, which used to be named like Azure AI Studio. So if you click here, then it will be redirect into this page. And then here you can see that you have Azure OpenAI instance open, but you do not have any model. So you can deploy a model here as well. Um, yeah. So you can do directly here, or you in same place also you can do two place you can deploy your model. So first time you don't have any model, so you are deploying here model, and these model are pre-built model, so you don't need to worry about that. You just click and you can create them by few buttons clicks away. So these are the models available. Based on your requirements, you can choose. If you like just text based data, then you can use GPT Turbo 35, like Turbo 60K, or Turbo instruction, or Turbo. Or you can use, if it's image data, then you maybe use, if you want to draw an image or like that, then you can use DALI model. If you have structured data, then you can use Whisper. If you want something like drawing the pie graphs or like that, You can have an embedded model for vector kind of the things, vector db kind of the things. And this one you use pretty much for, because these are the multimodal Azure OpenAI, so you can use for your image or audio or video data if you have, but it's bit costly compared to the no other model. So you need to find out which is the best model and what is your requirements. Based on that, you will select model here. For example, I'm doing, but I already have. So let me go to here. Then you confirm, selecting few stuffs here. You can give your suitable name here. You select the local standard or global standard or like that, global batch or like that, and then that's it. And then you click on deploy button, and then it will deploy a model for you. And that model you can see it in here. So I have already 4 models. So if you want to go to one of them, then you can click here and you can see what configuration I have ready. So these are the URL. So if you use this URL copy and this is the key, then you can consume that from anywhere else. So these two things use for consume your Azure OpenAI. And you can see I have used in Postman. So here you can see that URL I have pasted here. The method is post. Here we are using the headers having the key and content type. And this key you can get it from here. This is the key. And message body. So message body you will get it from, let's go to back, in chat window. So here, so if you click on this view, you will get here different languages well, like Python or C Sharp or JSON or like that. So you can click on JSON and you can see this content. So you can copy that one and you can use in your Postman here as a message body. You can change your message because this is your I think here you will have a prompt. So yeah, you asking what is 2 plus 2, and then that's it. And then you click on send, and then you can see that it returning the results as well. And here you can see that it's returning the output as well, what is 2 plus 2 equal to 4. So this way you can call Azure OpenAI in Postman, and you can get that message from here. So when you initially learning, at that time you use like this way, but once you happy with that and you're doing production level work, then you use a intro ID authentications and manage identity rather than key with key one. So use keyless one. So this way you can get your code as well. And here also you can get, like if you forget your model name, then you can see that it's already here. So you can find your model name here. This is the URL, and this is the way you call Azure Open in your Python notebooks or like that, which we're going to see quickly as well. So let me close this. So for that, you can see I have already deployed these models now. So let's start with one of them. So now I can ask a question. Let's say hi. So sometimes what happen, you deploy your model first time and it takes some time. So sometimes you have to wait for 2-3 minutes as well. You have to refresh your browser as well. And you can see once you ask a hi, then it will returns. So that means it's now deployed successfully, this model. And now I can ask a question because this is a GPT model. So I can ask a question about can you please explain image, and I'm attaching image as well. So you can here copy and paste image, or you can attach as well. So you can directly do like this way, or you can copy and paste as well. uh, okay, so I have a prompt engineering diagram, so I'm just asking that one. So while it's giving reply, I think I have another image here, which is invoice related. So I would like to extract the information from that image. So we are just waiting for that. I think my PC is a bit slow, so because of that, we are waiting here. So let's open this image. I can copy this image like this way, and this is image in my one leg. I'm copying that image. Meanwhile, responding here. So this is a diagram prompt engineering, because if you like to use Azure OpenAI on your data, you also need to understand how it works. So prompt is important things. So you also need to understand prompt engineering as well. And here you can see that it's saying that basic concept of that. You can see it's giving me pretty much explaining the diagrams. But now let's see. I can say just a paste it. I'm not saying anything. This is the invoice one, and let's see what it's doing. So basically, even though I didn't ask anything, but it will explain me what's in that image. So this is the image. If you can see, it's having the contract invoice. Here you can see billing to. So here I'm not saying company name, but I'm saying billing to, and this is the that's name, which is company name, contractor name, email ID, and those information. So while it's doing that, you also can do here. You can interrupt even though it's in progress. So we can you please extract the uh, information and create a table. So it will read this information, and you can see it creating, it's extracting those information from that, and it's also preparing the data as well. So it's reading the value as well from that, and it's creating that. So if I go to here, then you can see that it has read that image, and based on that it's extracted the information, and it created the SQL tables, and it also prepare for me insert statement as well, and it also explaining me as well. And if you have doubt, then you can ask a question with little bit more detailed information, and then it can help you on that as well. And then you can use this definition from here. For example, yeah, you copy this one, and then you can create a table in SQL database. So you can do that way as well. So this is the one of the example you can use Azure OpenAI. And here it's using on my own data because I have provided invoice. But earlier we said what is 2 plus 2. That I think we haven't asked her. Let me ask her. So I am asking here 2 plus 2. So this is the not knowledge I haven't provided, but it's calculation. So it will find and it's do based on that. So yeah, so you can say it's returning that, but this is answer is not based on my data because I haven't provided any knowledge. So yeah, so this way you can use Azure OpenAI. You can try maybe different versions as well, and we have consumed this model through a Postman in here. So I think now let me close this one. Now we see how you can consume that through Fabric pipeline. So here you can see that this is the pipeline. Whatever you use for your Postman, you are using this here, so it will run for you. So for that here, this is Azure Data Factory in Fabric, Microsoft Fabric, and we have a web activity. And here we are passing the information. So you can see that I'm calling this model here. I'm creating the connection. But if you have Azure Data Factory or Synapse pipeline, then you are creating the link service for REST API, which is Azure OpenAI REST API. You applying the like what is a method and which pretty much which you have used in your Postman body, and you can found through Azure OpenAI view code. And if you change the JSON format, then this is that message. here I am asking what is same question, what is 2 plus 2, but you can provide here information. Sorry. This is information you can get from previous activity in your data factory or notebook, whatever you reading the table or reading the file, and then those information you can pass here, and then Azure OpenAI apply the Gen AI on that, and it return the result, and that result you can store also in table or file, but for simplicity purpose I have stored that result into variable. So this is the output of Azure OpenAI, and you can get that by using your activity name dot output dot choice dot message dot zero, because that way you can observe here. Actually, I have closed that one, so you can see that it written like this, where the main object is choice in there, and then inside you will find message, and inside you can see a content. So this way you can get result as well. And if I run this one, actually, I have just that. Okay, it's running. Yeah, so while it's running, okay, it's successful as well. So you can see here what is input and what is output. There you will get idea. So these are the stuff you can see here. This is not recommended. So you should use a manage identity way or a Azure intra uh, authentication, and you can see output as well here. This is output from there, and this is the output when you're calling the Azure OpenAI. And here you can see that you have choice. So we are using the first object of that choice, and then if you scroll down, you will having the message here, and then you extracting this value, because you don't need this extra stuff. We only interested into content that is directly related to your question and answer. So this way you can call Azure OpenAI through here. You can do same thing through Microsoft Fabric notebooks. This loading I can quickly share you in here. So how you can use that in your local machine. So for your local machine, you are installing some SDK for Azure OpenAI SDK. You installing the pip and Python's kind of the packages as well. And then after you can come into here, you can see, and then you can create new notebooks in VS Code or Visual Studio, and your code look like this. Here we have a dev. This is environment local variable you can store, so key and URL is hidden, but you can see these are the key from here, and your endpoint as well. You are calling Azure Open, creating the like objects here, and then you are calling here Azure OpenAI. So you're passing the model name, you're passing the message, and this is my message: how to improve the SQL query performance. So this is based on the knowledge on internet. So it will find out from internet, and it will give me the answer, like how I can improve query. So it will give me some tips. So actually I ran earlier, but let me run again. And you can see it responded me with this message. It's written like how I can improve it. It asked me to check index, uh, query optimization, query, and it's giving me some tips as well where I should check for optimization. One, effective joins, check your joins, and like that, check your database engines, and then database design as well, and caching as well. So you can see it's suggesting me these answers. So here you just need to use your API key, endpoints, and model name and prompt. This is prompt we have provided. So this way you can call Azure OpenAI in here. And this is my environment file having the secrets. And however, as I said earlier, you should use a keyless authentication in production, or this is just for initial, for beginning level, you can use key. So that way you can call Azure OpenAI in Python. You also can use notebooks here, and you can use them in same way, the way you have used in Python or in like that. So this is a code first one, so you can see that it's here. You are loading some packages. Actually my this is a bit slow. So yeah, you're loading some packages here. So installing packages, we are using request packages, and this is for environment. Is storing the secrets there for that package, and then you are importing those libraries, and then you are calling that in creating objects and calling here. And then this is the things you are interested. So this is your output, so you are using like this way complete, because that is your objects in here. You are, so you basically you are using your model name, endpoint and key in this code, and then it will return your results. So this way you call Azure OpenAI notebooks as well. And if we go to one example, then let's see, you want to implement Azure OpenAI on secure data. Like you want Azure OpenAI to generate a query from database. So Azure OpenAI is used like you use Azure OpenAI on natural language way. So you asking the question like what is order or what is the finance on this month, or what is the status of these products, and those kind of the thing. You ask a question and it will generate a English query for you. So behind the scene, it's reading the schema from system table. It understand that schema, and it know now after that it know that how they are connected, if I want to join them and how it should work. So based on that it will connect that, and then when you ask a question, it goes to, based on the schema, it generate a query, and then you can execute that query. So we are going to see the demo here for that. And for that you can see that I have a prompt here. So this is a prompt. So here we are providing the prompts, and we saying that you are the assistant that can convert a natural language query into a formatted SQL query. We also saying that you return the result into JSON format, and you also can do a join where aggregations. You can also create a CTE. You can do a group buys and those things. So we are saying that you apply this kind of the stuff on this schema based on the query, English sentence query. So this is my prompt, and here you can see that I am calling the Azure OpenAI in here, Python in here. And then this is the file we are using the Streamlight for that. So it's communicating through database, and then it's giving the schema for Azure OpenAI. Azure OpenAI understand that schema, and it also have the user questions, and it converted that question into a query. Like not a question, means English sentence into query, and then we are running the query here. It's not Azure OpenAI running the query and accessing your database. It's we have the code, and that code is running your query. So if I run that one, I think I already run here, so you can see that it's maybe in another. So yeah, you can see that Streamlight is here, and it's opening, and then I'm asking here question that show me order. So it's showing me this order. So basically it's reading the table which I have in a, yeah, I think I have in here. So it's reading this table, order table, and you can see that I have only 4 records here, but you can see status as well. And I also have a customer, and if I ask, it can join to tables as well, and it can cross data from where this open. So if we go to here, it's loading. So now we asking the little bit complex question instead of saying show me the order. But before that, you can see here in my code. So it's URL, Streamlight URL, and then we have already typed query there. But you can see that it's reading the schema table. So all table I have in the database is reading the schema for those tables, and then you can see that this is a prompt message which we have, and this is my message. So I ask Hannah show me order. So it's this is the user message, and this is the response from Azure OpenAI. And then we are running the query from table, and then it's returning the results. So if I ask now another question and I say show me the order, so I'm asking show me customer having the pending order which with the address and product. So because it should be another table as well in case it's not information in same table. So it's running, and we can observe here as well uh, it will create this all information here. See, again going to that, providing the prompt, and this is the query generated. So if I go back uh, here, so it generated this query, and you can see that it has joined two tables because here it said customer name, um, customer.address, and order.product. So it's joining two tables and is doing correctly as well. Joining these two, and also is understand because I say the pending status. So it's doing status equal to pending. It's joining those two table and getting information from those two table, and it's also applying filter on a status which is order related. So it's going to order table and checking status is there, and based on that, if it's pending status, then it's returning me the result. So this is a correct one. So this is the another way you can use Azure OpenAI. So in portal, you also can do bring your own data as well. So if you go to Azure OpenAI, I think I have. Let me close now because we already have seen this demo, and I think let me close this as well. So if I go to here, so here you can see that you can do many things. You deploy your model, you can have your system message as well here. You also can add your own data, so you can have your own data here by by clicking here, and you can see it's use various different kind of the model. You can use Azure AI search, you can use Azure blob storage, cosmodb, and these kind of the things. You can upload file as well. And for example, let me quickly see if I have anything. So you need to create Azure AI search if it's not there, but you can see here you will get option as well if it's not there. You also can use Azure blob storage, and you can see even you can use this one, sorry, not that one, this one for a public. So you can use medium blogs URL, or you can use your YouTube channel, or any URL you have in web, you can apply that one in here. And then once you're happy with that, I think we don't have a time, so I will cancel that. And then you can see here you can deploy as well. So few button clicks away you can deploy your models in that, and by selecting this information like your resource group and subscription name, and if you have app service as well. So based on that you can deploy your model, and then you can see your model in here, in there, and quickly you can. So I have used, I think, behind the scene my medium blogs, and if I go to here, then you will see that it's quickly ready for you, and you can deploy it as a web app. So you can chat that one like that way as well, through even Azure OpenAI as well. So this is my resource group. So yeah, these are the chatbots. So you can deploy that way as well. So I have deployed like that way, and I can ask you any question. So that is a knowledge based one because I have provided knowledge, and I think it's already running. So I can click here. So this way you can use Azure OpenAI on your data. You can consume that through a Postman or even SQL database through REST URL or Azure Function or Power BI or like that. And now I can ask a question. So I don't remember what I have past knowledge, but let's see what is Azure OpenAI. So it's generating the response. Normally it's very quick, but this is because my computer is bit slow. And you can see that here is a reference as well from where they use this knowledge. So it's using my medium blog. So these are my medium blogs. So I have used a URL of my medium blogs in here. But if I ask them what is London, because it's not there, something like that you ask which is not in knowledge, then you will see it will say it's out of contains. This required information is not available. So here I have provided URL of my medium blog, so it's giving me the answer based on that. So this way you can call Azure OpenAI. And now let's me go to back here. So we know now how you can apply Azure OpenAI on your data or public data. uh, um, so we have seen this demo as well. um, we haven't seen this demo, but we don't have a time, but we have seen this demo where you can have your data in SQL database or on-premise database as well. You have a code in Python in your local machines. You have Azure OpenAI instance and you have Streamlight, so you can use that. And this way, I have asked the questions and it returning me the result as well. And for that, I have used these code tools or services. um, so I think with that, we can conclude this session. So we know what is Azure OpenAI. It's Azure AI service which help you to apply a large language model or small language model on your data to make your app more smarter in very quickly and very efficient way. It can easily consume through various different way. It can easily You can easily integrate with different Azure services as well as local machines like Python code or like that way. It capable of processing and analyzing wide variety of data which can be image, audio, video files, and you can apply this idea on any domain like healthcare where doctor can scan the x-ray and give the results. You can use in education domain or pretty much any domain you can use that one. And you can make your app more smarter. With that, I would like to thank you for attending this session, and I'm open now with any question if you have now, or you can contact me via LinkedIn if you have any more question. So yeah, thank you, Moria.
Thank you so much, Atpa. Thank you. I see that we have two questions. If we
Mhm.
just have a couple of minutes, I'm not sure if that was already answered. Can I use Azure OpenAI and connect it with GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio or Python?
Yeah, you can do that one in Visual Studio Code. You can do because it's just a REST URL and a key or keyless. So you can do the way you use any REST API. You can use in your Java code or Python code or VS code, like sorry, C Sharp code in your Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code or like that. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then there was another one here. Can we change the yes, this one. Can we change the response for Markdown to HTML? I think it was relevant to what you presented, yeah, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you can say that what kind of you can say, can you generate a table format, can you generate output in a JSON format or HTML format? Yeah, it can do. Yeah.
Okay, there's another one here. What can it really do with audio? Can it combine two audio tracks together, or can it clean some noise in my music track?
Um, I haven't tried that one, but I think it is a possible. I will let you know, maybe confirming, and yeah, you can ask me in link.
Um,
You contact me in LinkedIn again. Yeah.
can I use Power Virtual Agent?
Power Virtual Agent with Azure OpenAI.
I assume so. Please correct us if there is different, but I think it is with that, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we have one more question. Can we use these models for prediction, like generating sales forecast?
Yeah, you can, because it's find a pattern on your data. So it give you pattern or trend. So you will get idea. Even you can use that, in share market, which is going to up or down. You can use that one. Yeah, you can apply those idea in those kind of the data as well. Or even in organization for finance forecast or those kind of the things you can use as well, and it help you as well. Yeah, you also can use these kind of the things in even in Outlook or Team or even in presentation. It can prepare a presentation for you as well. You can use in Excel as well, because it's using the Copilot there, and Copilot behind the scene is using the Azure OpenAI. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Then thank you, Alba, for answering the question and everyone for joining us. There was a great session. We got also some good feedback in the chat. So thank you, everyone. And we hope to see you at the next Microsoft Reactor event. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
and
you.
goodbye.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.